Hello dear aspirants, welcome to GDC online classes and I especially welcome you for my cognizy classes. Yes, my dear aspirants, up to the last class we have seen and we have completed indole alkaloids. In that we have seen several plants like rhizospine, that is Ralphia and Vinca, and we have seen several plants in the indole alkaloid. But we need to cover the rest of the alkaloids, so that in this session we are going to start with another new alkaloid or another classification of alkaloid, that is steroidal alkaloid. Yes, my dear students, you can look on my screen. Steroidal alkaloids, the name itself saying that the steroidal nucleus, they are consisting of steroidal nucleus. For these alkaloids which are possessing a steroidal nucleus, four interconnected rings to the carbon atom, this is a steroidal nucleus. Okay, so the drugs or the plants which are possessing the steroidal nucleus, especially yes, they are alkaloids. They are known as steroidal alkaloids. Examples for these steroidal alkaloids are veratrum, kurchi bark, and ashwagandha root. So now we are going to see this all the three drugs together in this steroidal alkaloids. But before that, we should know about the chemical structure and their occurrence and the biological activities of these steroidal alkaloids, so that you can have an holistic idea of the what you meant by the steroidal alkaloids. Yes, this nature of steroidal alkaloids is complex and multifaceted and reflecting the diverse chemical structures and the biological activities, because almost all steroidal alkaloids are possessing a specific activity. They have a diverse chemical nature, diverse chemical structure, diverse biological action. And coming to that, the chemical structure of these steroidal alkaloids, we know that it is having four interconnected rings of carbon atom, and is mainly these steroidal alkaloids typically consist of steroidal core structure which is fused with one or more alkaloidal moieties. Yes, even though it is a completely steroidal nucleus, but it should be connected with any other alkaloidal moiety. So thereby it possesses some of the alkaloidal properties. Yes, and coming to the occurrence, nothing but in which family or distribution of these steroidal alkaloids will be seen in different plants or families like Solanaceae family, mostly in the Solanaceae family and other families we can see. But apart from that, some of the steroidal alkaloid containing drugs or the crude drugs are potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers. So these are the best example to identify and to detect and to see the steroidal alkaloids. Yes, and coming to the biological activity, so what were the major activities of these steroidal alkaloids? If you ask me that, they are mostly cytotoxic, which means cancer, anti-cancer property, antifungal, antimicrobial, and insecticidal properties, and also other properties also there. Okay, so which means simply I conclude that steroidal alkaloids are consisting of steroidal nucleus which are connected with any other alkaloidal moiety. Steroidal nucleus plus any of the alkaloidal moiety will be seen in the steroidal alkaloids. So example or the drugs that we are going to see in this steroidal alkaloids are veratrum, kurchi bark, and ashwagandha root. Okay, we will see each drug in detail so that you can understand. First and foremostly, we are starting with veratrum. So this is a plant veratrum, but where we can get the active part, or where we can the active drug from the specific part, that is root. Okay, so we can get this veratrum from the roots and rhizomes of Veratrum viride and Veratrum album. Yes, but coming to the synonym of this veratrum will be hellebore. Hellebore will be the synonym of veratrum. Veratrum. The source will be, it is obtained from dried rhizomes or root of Veratrum viride or Veratrum album. Veratrum, the name itself saying that the common name Veratrum, the plant name Veratrum viride is another species and album is another species. Belong to family Liliaceae. You can see most of the floral parts here, because we know that almost all the Liliaceae family are consisting of the floral parts. Okay, and the chemical constants. So apart from these, coming to the veratrum, so there will be only such important things like a synonym and source, and the chemical constants used are enough for this, my dear students. Okay, and veratrin proveratrin, protoveratrin, germidin and germitrin. So these are the active constituents of the veratrum. Veratrum viride is a species and Veratrum album is another species where we can get Veratrum, and the Liliaceae is the family. And the chemical constituents are veratrin, protoveratrin and germidin and germitrin. So these are the chemical constituents of veratrum. But what will be the uses? So we have started with the steroidal nucleus, so that the uses will be also changed. The uses also can be changed. So here itself, mostly they are antihypotensive for our hypotensive drugs. So we can reduce the blood pressure, low blood pressure and decreased heart rate, so that they are acting on heart as well as on the blood pressure. Okay, and used in a pregnancy related hypotension. Yes, so the main use of this thing is it is in a hypotensive, antihypertensive drugs. Okay, and also it used in a heart related and to reduce the heart rate, and also used in a pregnancy related hypotension. So this is about veratrum. Veratrum album, Veratrum viride, family Liliaceae, veratrin, protoveratrin, germidin and germitrin. So the synonym is hellebore. So this thing should be noted. Next is a Kuchi bark. Next is Kuchi bark. We know that there are some of the important barks we can see in the alkaloids: cinchona bark, Kuchi bark, cinnamon bark. So there are several barks are there, but each bark having a special type of nucleus in special uses. Where cinchona is also especially cinchona, quinine alkaloids are quinine nuclein quinoline. Quinine alkaloids are especially meant for the malaria. So like how each bark is having a specific use, so that you should remember that based on the nature of chemical nucleus, based on the bark, you should definitely remember the use. Okay, so it's known as Hollerina. It's known as Hollerina, Kuchi, H. Hollerina. Okay, and the source of this bark, it is obtained from the stem bark of Hollerina antidiscentrica. It is a Hollerina antidiscentrica. Remember this name, Hollerina antidiscentrica. It is a bark, stem bark, dried stem bark, not a fresh one. It's a dried stem bark of Hollerina discentrica, belong to family Apocynaceae. And coming to that microscope, you can have a look on this, because I said in the last session, whenever you're looking into any of the bark, any of the stem, any of the root, immediately you should you should remember that only specific parts will be remembered. Like, so if it is a stem, it should have a bark. Definitely it should have bark. So that bark consisting of outermost layer, that is cork, phloem, phloderm, cambium, cortex. So these things are very common features of a bark or a stem. Okay, because the bark is a part of stem. Okay, so that you can see here, the TS Kuchi bark shows the presence of cortex. Yes, we know that this is the cortex. Where is the region cortex? And which is made up of tangentially and radially elongated parenchyma cells. So these are all parenchyma cells. Okay, yes, and the prismatic calcium oxide crystals are there. So these are the prisms like calcium oxide crystals. These are the prismatic calcium oxide crystals. So we can see. So which type of crystals are there? Prismatic. And the stone cells are present in the cortex either singly or in groups of horizontal layers. In this cortex, we can see some randomly stone cells are there. Okay, so these are the stone cells. The black color, these are stone cells will be there. Okay, these are stone cells, and medullary rays are multi-layered. So these are the medullary rays. The striated lines are medullary rays. So these are meant for the for the transport of all the water and all these things. So this will be the microscopy. Okay, so it's consisting of cork and stone cells are there, prismatic calcium crystals are there, and multi-seriate medullary rays are there. Next in that, we need to see that. Okay, so how can we confirm? How do we confirm that it is possessing the Kuchi bark is active? The Kuchi bark having the active principle. So that, because if you look at under the microscope, so if we see the yellow color horse-shaped stone cells are there, then will be the active Kuchi bark. So that would not be adulterated. That not be adulterated one. Okay. So like, oh, it's an indication. There's a parameter. So if you see that, if you observe that horse shoe-shaped cells which are yellow in color, the stone cells, so that will be the Kuchi bark. And chemical constants are mostly Kuchisin. You should remember that Kuchisin, because Kuchi bark, Kuchisin, and this is known chemical known as conicin. And this is also consisting of isoconicin, norconicin. But mostly this contains about 25% of alkaloids, which are mainly 1.5 to 3% are mainly conicin or cochisin or norconicin and isoconicin. So these will be the chemical constants. You should definitely remember that the chemical constants. Okay, conicin, norconicin, isoconicin and norconicin. So these are the chemical constants. So coming to that uses. The uses of these Kuchi bark will be, I said, Holeruna antidysenterica. Holeruna antidysenterica. So which means the name itself saying that use anti-dysentery. So amoebic dysentery. Holerina dysenterica, amoebic dysentery. So it used in the amoebic dysentery. So use the treatment of diarrhea and anti-protozoal action and sense of steroidal hormone, because it's a steroidal alkaloid. Okay, so Holerina dysenterica. The name itself, the source itself saying that dysentery, reducing the dysentery. So that treats the diarrhea and anti-protozoal action and synthesis of steroidal hormone, because steroidal nucleus. So this is about Kuchi bark, and the next one in this we are going to discuss about the one of the important drug, that is ashwagandha. Do you people know why it is called as ashwagandha? Ashwa refers to horse, Gandha refers to drug. Why? Because it is assigned, or the name will be assigned as ashwagandha, because a smell and a strength like a horse. When you inhale this, you know, this is the beauty of this. It's an immunomodulator, immunobooster, and also it's an endurance. It increases endurance in the sexual performance and all these things. Okay, so coming to that, why it is known as, not only for any other activities but for physical activities. So if you take this ashwagandha capsules or ashwagandha medicine, you will get an instant energy to do all your physical activities, to work done and everything. So why does it have ashwagandha as name? Ashwa means horse, and why it is known as ashwa, why it is compared with ashwagandha? Because the smell and the performance, it smells like, and the energy is like, performance is like a horse. That's the reason it's known as ashwagandha. Okay, the smell and the performance will be like a horse. So that's it. It's known as winter cherry. Winter cherry, because if you look at the fruit, it's known as winter cherry. But the thing here we use to get the ashwagandha, to get the vithanin, the vithanin is a chemical constant here, the main chemical constants. So to get that vithanin, we only require stem and root part of the ashwagandha, stem and root part. And coming to that, source. So ashwagandha is obtained from the dry root and stem of the plant, called Withania somnifera. Do you remember this word? Because the source itself saying from the source itself we name the all the chemical constants. So being family Solanaceae. The main chemical constants that I said, that withanin, somnifera, somniferin, somnin, vithananine. That's the reason we properly remember the that source. You can able to identify and remember the chemical constants also, because vithanin, vithanin we can get, and vithananine we can get. From somnifera we can get somniferin, somnine. So these are all the steroidal alkaloids or steroidal lactone alkaloids. Okay, yes. So this is the image of the ashwagandha root. So from this we can prepare so many energy boosters or any other medicaments which are very important for mankind, especially for men. It will be very useful, not only for good health, and also for to get energy, instant energy. We use ashwagandha capsules. And also apart from that, vithanin, somnin, it is also consisting of cetinoside 7 and cetinoside 8. These are the 2 acyl stearyl glucosides. These are two acyl steroid leukocytes. Cetinoside, 7 cetinoside each. So these are, apart from that, it also consider vithanolides. Vithanin we have seen, okay, and other steroidal lactones like vithanolides. So sometimes they may ask the questions like, which of the what can be called as the steroidal lactones in Withania somnifera or ashwagandha called as the steroidal lactone containing things in the ashwagandha called as vithanolides. Vithanolides. And two monohydric alcohol present in our somnitol and somnirol. Somnitol and somnirol are the two main other monohydric alcohols. Okay, so these are alcohols, the steroidal lactones and their glucosides and their alkaloids. Main coming to that, yes, what I said, uses, it's an aphrodisiac, that is sex stimulant. It's an endurance to enhance the performance. Okay, and it is used as a aphrodisiac and regenerator, so that regenerate your body, and also immunomodulatory activity. That's what I said in the initial introduction of this ashwagandha. Immunomodulatory activity, it has an immunomodulatory activity, and that's what we said. The two steroid acyl steroid glucosides that are cetinoside are possessing anti-stress activity, and also it has sedative and hypnotic effect. So for that reason, because of all these chemical constants together and with their specific actions, it can instantly regenerate your body, instantly activates your body, energizes your body, because it has anti-stress hormones, anti-stress activity, immunomodulatory activity, and also regenerate and sex stimulant activity. So for the reason, it will be a very good medicine, okay, to get energy. So this is about the steroidal alkaloids, and we'll see the in the next class about alkaloidal amines. Okay, so these are about the steroidal hormones. We'll see in the next class. Until then, we'll see the next class. Thank you. Have a great day.